Jaime Munguia versus Kamil Szeremeta. Szeremeta, short notice opponent. This is happening El Paso, Texas this weekend, Saturday afternoon. Nice little fight down there. El Paso, Texas, getting a good fight here. A fun fighter in Munguia. And this fight's happening, I believe, on DAZN. And the good thing about this fight, it's an afternoon fight. So you get to catch it in its entirety in a loaded Saturday of fights. And then you catch the other fights later on. So we'll get to see Munguia in his entirety, which is good. Calix Boxing here. Check out Calix Boxing 2.0. Hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit the alerts, all that good stuff. Munguia is a fun fighter, man. He's a fun fighter. He's fresh to 160, so he's adding a little spice to a pretty dull division, if we're being honest. 160 is a shallow division, one of the duller divisions in boxing right now. Not much going on at 160 of note. Not a deep division. However, at the top, you have guys like Charlo, Boo Boo Andrade, who are good technical fighters. Not as exciting, but good technical fighters. And then you have a guy like in Triple G, who is good technical fighter, entertaining as well. And then you got guys like Murata and Munguia, who are exciting fighters, fun fighters to watch. So it gives us a nice little versatility at the top of the division, even though it's not the most exciting division, the most popping division. It still does give us something to look forward to at the top of the division. Charlo's fighting this weekend. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But Munguia, fresh to 160, was a fun fighter at 154, 36-0, 29 knockouts. So he likes to put people on the canvas, which is good. That's what we want to see. This is the hurt business. We want to see guys who go in there and bruise, as well as the guys who hit and don't get hit. Munguia hits and he gets hit. All right, so that's fun to watch. Szeremeta, a guy 21-1 with 5 KOs. 5 KOs. And that right there tells you why he was the pick on short notice. This is a short notice opponent. Last minute, hence why there's no betting odds on my website. So I can't throw out the betting odds and give betting advice because there are no betting odds for me to look at right now. Hopefully they come up with some in the next couple of days, but as of right now, as I'm doing this video, no betting odds. Szeremeta, a guy who's pillow-fisted, sort of a Paulie Malignaggi type fighter who's going to stand in front of you and trade a little bit, nice jab, etc., but he's not going to hurt you. He's not going to make you pay for your mistakes in the ring. In Munguia, when you fight an opponent on short notice, chances are your mistakes are going to be more prevalent. You're going to make more mistakes in the ring because you're not as familiar with the fighter that you're up against. You haven't seen as much tape. You haven't done as much sparring against like-minded and like-styled fighters in the gym. Szeremeta presents a challenge in that right. He also presents a challenge in that he's been in there with guys. He's had experience. He was in there with Triple G. Fought decent for half the fight, but we saw what happened 6th, 7th round, middle rounds. They stopped the fight in the corner. And Szeremeta just couldn't go anymore with Triple G. But Triple G is Triple G. But I expect Munguia to present a lot of the same problems that Triple G did to Szeremeta. You know, Szeremeta could have, and he likely will have, some success early on in this fight. But as time goes on, Munguia and his power is just going to be too much. And Szeremeta is not going to have enough power to keep Munguia off of him. Jaime Munguia, a guy who will continue to walk you down, throws punches and bunches. He throws combinations. He'll go to the body, go back upstairs, but he's a body puncher as well. He doesn't mind taking shots, getting on the inside just to get his off. All right, and he's not going to be stopped in his tracks by a guy like Szeremeta. And Szeremeta is not going to be not a guy who can outbox Munguia for 12 rounds and keep him off of him, which is why I like a middle round stoppage type of fight for Munguia here. And Munguia presents an interesting option at 160, as I was alluding to before. He gives you an entertaining style, and guys like Charlo, Andre, Triple G, he gives those guys a fighter who stylistically should be there in front of him to hit, but is entertaining in his own right and has a fan base. So Munguia has all that going for him to present fights to the guys at the top of 160. And I think he'll get into some of these fights because He's an entertaining fighter. He's an entertaining fighter whose name is growing in the sport. So Munguia adds some value at 160. He was successful at 154, undefeated, but couldn't make the weight anymore, moving up to 160. So we'll see where his ceiling is at 160. I think his ceiling is below that top level. It's below a Charlo, below a Andre, below a Triple G. But it's right there, man. It's right there close to where Murata's at, you know? So Munguia, I like him by stoppage in this fight. I just think he's going to be too much for Szeremeta. Middle round stoppage for Munguia in an entertaining fight. Munguia is a fun fighter to watch, man. I think he'll be 37-0 with 30 KOs, and he's a guy to look forward to and watch out for in the middleweight division. He's going to add some excitement to this division, man. So Munguia by stoppage or knockout, middle round. I'm out, man. Peace. God bless.